say there's no evidence for God because God would be like a starting point or like first principle assumption from which that would like make evidence possible.
That's just the presupposition that you have. That's not evidence.
Right. So that's the thing though. God God is like a first principle belief. Everyone has a first principle, right?
Yep, that's not evidence either. It's it's my first principle that the supernatural realm doesn't exist. There, I just objectively proved that God doesn't exist.
Well, okay, no, that's not how that works. Okay, but like if we're having a debate and you go, "Well, I don't have to justify my starting point." Well, then I
Yeah,
win the
like
debate.
you don't. Yeah, because it's
Well,
presupposed.
then I win the debate because
No,
if you
I
don't
win
have
the
to,
debate because I presuppose that you're wrong, and you presuppose that you're right, but I presuppose that you're wrong, so I win the debate.
how
How?
what?
By presupposing it. You guys
That's
literally
not what
don't
that's
ever try to like the
okay,
whole tag
but there's a
tactic is
problem.
just to say, well, I proved that the contrary is impossible. Okay, how about shift the burden of proof to yourself? No, I don't have to do that. Like
But
just
there's a problem.
presupposing that you are correct.
But that's not what we're doing. So we're giving reasons for why we're correct. So debate. I don't know if you knew this, but debate is a reason-giving game. We're supposed to give reasons for our position. So when you don't give reason for your position, that's losing the debate. So my
No,
reason for
because
my
you asked me about my presuppositions, and presuppositions aren't justified.
I don't agree with that though. I justify
Okay,
my
well, that's
position,
just literally what a presupposition is.
but that's literally not the case. I don't
Yes, it
agree with
is.
that.
It's presupposed.
Okay, but we would use a transcendental argument.
Presupposition, a thing tacitly assumed beforehand at the beginning of a line of argument or course of action. So
Right,
it's
but we
a
have to
starting point for how you go about doing things or giving a line of argumentation.
sure, but if your starting point isn't justified, then all of your reasoning.
Presuppositions aren't justified. They are tacitly
No,
assumed.
no, I justify my presuppositions because if you
Go
don't
ahead and tell me
justify,
how you do it.
well, that's we would use a presuppositional argument.
Go so you'd presupp Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Right. So the presuppositional argument, we would when we're dealing with starting point, first principle belief, we can't use a correspondence theory of truth because that's the belief we use to evaluate reality. So there's no reality to correspond to.
So you can't you can't recursively justify your presupposition with anything that the presupposition is designed in order to allow you to do. That's exactly what I said. So what do you want to talk about next?
So we would use a coherentist theory of truth, right? And since for example, we all have to use inductive reasoning, which means our presuppositions have to account for the problem of induction. And since the Christian presupposition can account for the problem of induction, which is necessary for like
Explain to
science,
me how it accounts for it.
so in the Christian worldview, we know that like gravity is going to hold day by day by day because it's
Explain
like
to me how you know that.
because it's part of God's plan, and then He reveals that knowledge to us
Explain to me how you know that.
through revelation.
Explain to me how you know that.
That is the explanation.
That is the explanation that it's revealed to you. So what's to stop me from saying the truth reveals itself to me and the truth revealed to me that God doesn't exist?
Because like when we're talking about our a worldview, our starting point, we're talking about reality. We're not talking about a hypothetical.
I'm not giving you a hypothetical. I'm telling you that this really happened. The truth revealed to me that God doesn't exist. So is that equal to your claim, worse than your claim, better than your claim?
So imagine I provided like empirical evidence that the dog was in the backyard, right? And you said, Well, hypothetically, it could be in the kitchen. Does your hypothetical trump my empirical evidence?
Um,
No.
no, but you didn't give empirical evidence, and I
Well,
didn't give
no.
you a hypothetical.
Well, see,
Well, I kind of said hypothetically, like, well, I said hypothetically, what's stopping me from saying that, or like, what would your counter to it be? But you didn't empirically prove anything. You just gave me a list of things that you assume according to your worldview.
well, yeah, it wasn't so much a hypothetical as a pathetical, but like in the case of my
That's
position,
kind of funny.
there's tangible evidence in my position, right? Like, because the Bible's tangible, the history of the church is tangible, and then there's like metaphysics that are tangible. Whereas, like, when you're talking about like, oh, the truth revealed this to me that there's no God, there's nothing tangible there to support. So that you're
There's
just,
nothing tangible about your personal revelation, which is what this all came down to.
I'm not appealing to a personal revelation. I'm appealing to natural and special revelation.
What's
That's
tangible about those things?
well, like history is tangible. That's I didn't invent that, right? That's not just a fantasy.
Okay,
It's
you're
a
not
real.
really tracking here. So I actually have some question. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, and I don't think you are either. Like, just for the record, but I wanted to ask you some questions about this whole thing because what I typically like to where I typically like to take this is I ask people that adopt this framework, if you had two people, like if you had an identical twin brother, but he was not a presuppositionalist, what is your brother incapable of doing that you are capable of doing other than reaffirming your presuppositions?